Hi everyone, this is Kevin from Supernatural Selection. Are you an independent creator? Do you have a webcomic or an Etsy store? Do you 3D print things? Or are you just looking to get some word out for your Discordian cabal with social terrorism? Well, we'd love to help. And David, I believe you've got some details about how we can help.
Why, certainly. If you go to supernaturalselectionpod.com/contact, that is supernaturalselectionpod.com/contact, you can learn how to advertise with us.
That's right. I believe the rate is $2 per episode. You can't beat that with a stick.
Yeah, I mean, trust me, we've tried.
Yeah, that's cheap. That's literally cheaper than dirt.
Mm-hmm. And best of all, if you're not sure how to write an ad, we'll do it for you. We'll even record it.
Absolutely. Just let us know what you need in the ad, and we'll be happy to do that for you.
And again, that URL is supernaturalselectionpod.com/contact.
And now, back to the show. Hello and welcome to the Distraction Hole. You've fallen in. I'm your host this week, Kevin, and I'm a rock driving a car and I'm a madman. With me is Mike. Mike, how are you doing?
I'm pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah. Happy 420.
Happy 420 and happy Easter if you celebrate.
Smoke some grass with the Easter Bunny.
Yes. Smoke that plastic grass that they put in the Easter baskets.
That sounds like a terrible idea.
It is. And we've got David. David, how are you today?
I'm doing okay. Today I'm the one who did car stuff.
Oh, wow. What'd you do?
Wait, give me 1 second. I tossed my hat onto the couch, but it fell to the floor, and I'm afraid the cat's going to try to pee in it. Give me 1 second.
Yep. That's a fair fear.
The cat in the piss hat.
Okay.
Piss hat.
Piss
Piss
avoided.
hat will be Piss hat will be a good band name.
Piss hat would be a good band name. No, but I did an oil change today, but my car uses both like fractional and metric for different things.
Yes.
So I was like, I'd try something. Okay, fuck, that didn't work. Go down the line of the sockets, try another one. And I had a dickens of a time getting that oil filter out. I had to actually wrap duct tape around it and then use pliers to get grip.
Yeah.
Yeah. Been there before with various things. Mike, you remember when we were trying to change that belt on my old Hyundai and we had to take it out to a friend's house and it still took fucking ever?
Yeah, that was the timing belt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a major job though.
Yeah.
But no, got it taken care of, so I'm good. I still have a little bit of oil stench on me.
Yes. The mechanic stink.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some girls find that attractive.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yep. I can't smell you, so I can't tell you if I find it attractive. I've never been aroused by Mike working on a car, so.
Thank God.
Yeah. There's small favors out there in the world.
So my wife gave me a bottle to squirt the cat when the cat jumps on the desk, and I have just sprayed her in the face 6 times, and she does not give a shit.
That's like Ginger. Ginger does not give a fuck.
Well,
she also doesn't care about the embittering agents.
If you spray her on the face, she cares. But if you spray her just in general on the body, she'll look at you and maybe she'll move.
I feel like this is going to be a little bit of a chaos stream, for us to.
Probably.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. Y'all mind if I go first?
No.
Sure, go ahead.
You don't mind, and Mike.
Take it as you will.
Okay. That's fine. Fuck both of y'all. Let's see. The big thing for the past couple weeks is I've started writing a book.
Yes.
And
is it educational? Smutty?
A little bit of smutty, a little bit of educational. A little of both. I mix my mayo and my ketchup. But I decided that since I have so much trouble drawing now, and I'm so pissed about the Aaron Apprentice, I'm gonna convert it to prose. And I've had this idea before, but, you know, Mike can back me up here. We've been watching these Brandon Sanderson lectures from his class at BYU about writing science fiction and fantasy.
Yeah, and with a bent to like actually getting published.
Yeah, that's the other thing, is he does talk about, you know, giving tips on getting published. And one of the things that I noticed as I'm sitting here, and I think I brought this up before when I talked about it, I was like, I already know a lot of this story stuff. Because I've been storytelling for 25 years, 25, 26, something like that. And the big thing is like little tips about, like, you know, POV, finding character voices. Like, one of the things he said is, you know, when you read something from a character's POV, you should be able to tell this is a certain character from the start. And I get that. That's a good piece of advice. And gonna work on that. And I'm actually through to the Biloxi portion of the first book.
Which issue was that?
The second issue.
Okay. Hey, no, that's good progress, man. How many pages? How many? Not pages. Well, you can either do page count or word count. Where are you at?
Word count right now, because it doesn't give me the pages until I export it.
And that could be highly dependent on formatting too. So.
Yeah, and that's another thing, man. Scrivener's great. It lets me export as a PDF, but it also gives me different formats. Like, do you want to export this in hardback format? Do you want to do it as an ebook? Do you want to export it as a paperback?
Yeah.
And it will auto-format that shit for you. But right now I'm at probably 7,600 words or so.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm happy. I haven't written in 2 days because, like, my brain's mush after work this week.
Yeah.
But starting tomorrow, back at it, gonna get back to writing. It's letting me expand certain things I never got to do in the comic because either the limits of my art talent or I had to get it done in like 20 to 30 pages. So now it can breathe. So I'm excited. I'm really happy about this.
Yeah, I'm looking at the word count because I was writing Fang and Bone, and I just haven't been able to, like, get back to writing because shit. So I'm only at like 13,000 on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike, do you remember what Sanderson said the average word count is for like a YA book?
I don't remember, actually.
Okay. I want to say it was like ballpark around 50K for like young adult
I
fiction.
think that's, about right, and about 100K for,
a novel.
Yeah.
Like a big grown-up people novel. And I don't really know what kind of book I'm writing right now. I'm just going to write it, and, like, the rewrites will dictate what it is.
Yeah, I mean, because you're hoping to put out, like, a completed product, right? You're not, like, posting bits of it and releasing it serially?
I'm not planning on it.
Okay.
The only way I'm doing that is in the Google Doc that I'm sharing with you and the Spooky Dice Bag crew, who have volunteered to be my beta readers, and we'll see. Yeah, because sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, because I'm going that route of like writing like serialized things, so I've got like a completely different process. But it's gonna be interesting. You writing is making me jealous right now because I can't do it, but I want to get back into it.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of working on Mike with this a little bit. Like, Mike, you've had some thoughts about your story you had, right?
Yeah, I mean, the Sanderson made me think about it.
I mean, let's keep ourselves accountable. You know what I mean? Let's all. Okay, so you remember I wrote that Cosmic Dash novella, right?
Yes.
It's about 36,000 words, and that was just the novella. So
Well, hell, dude, you could put another 20K in there. You got yourself a YA book.
no, I mean honestly, I kind of like the story the way it is because it's
Okay.
you remember it. It's like a little bit of a bottle episode, but
Yes.
But no, I mean it's one of those things where like I'm hoping to like double that with Fang and Bone by the time I'm done with it.
Okay.
I don't know,
Well-
like do we do a pact? Do we like
A blood pact.
right? No, because
Well-
I want to write more, and I'm envying you very much right now being able to do that.
Well, right now, I've just very simply set a goal where I need to write more nights in a week than I don't write. Mm-hmm. And I've been able to do that so far. And each night, I have a goal of 1,000 words.
Okay.
If I can do 1,000 words a night,
Now,
I'll
isn't
be
that,
good. Oh, but also, that's like just like that's the that's not a hard limit. That's like
Yeah.
I have to get at least 1,000 words.
Well, isn't that what Sanderson like said he did, like 1,000 words at a session or whatever?
Maybe I've heard that from
Something.
a few people.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: what is your environment like when you write? Specifically, are you one of those weirdos who works in silence, or you got some music playing? What are you doing?
Well, I can write in silence, but also I put on. There's this. Oh, I'm glad you brought this up. You know me in music. I'm not like a major music nut, but like
Yeah.
I am kind of a music nut. There's this one artist named I don't know if it's pronounced Tycho or Tycho. Tycho.
Oh, so familiar. It sounds so familiar.
Yeah, he really lo-fi, amazing electronic stuff, and I highly recommend checking him out. I've got on Tidal, they've got like mixes and radio, and I made a station of just him as the seed.
Yeah.
And let me see, who's it got for artists? It's got him, Bonobo, Emancipator, who I've heard of before.
Get some new Jabez on there.
New Jabez?
Yeah, he was a hip hop lo-fi artist. He's passed away, but he, like kind of like that Adult Swim aesthetic. But he
Oh,
also,
yeah, okay.
He also did the I think the soundtrack to Samurai Champloo.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
Yeah, at least
Hey,
the opening
here's-
theme.
Yeah, if it's as long as it doesn't have lyrics, I can write to it. Oh yeah, okay, I'm going through here. It's like Boards of Canada.
Oh yeah, I love me some Boards of Canada.
Yeah, okay. You get the idea though.
Yeah, yeah.
The kind of vibe I go for when I'm writing.
if we ever
Odessa?
if we ever do a radio station, we need to have like lo-fi hours in the
Oh
evening.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, I haven't heard Ulrich Schnauz in a long time. Man, that's some stuff from back when I used to listen to. God, what is that thing called? Pandora.
I miss that.
Yeah, Pandora back before it just kept playing Coldplay at me. So, Mike, how about you?
Coldplay is like the crab body form of music.
It kind of is.
It all goes to Coldplay.
Yeah, everything evolves into Coldplay. Mike,
Yeah.
do you listen to music when you write, or do you do it silent, or what do you do?
I don't know. I mean, depends on how I feel, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, I get
Sometimes
that.
yes,
It depends on the
sometimes
vibe.
no.
Yeah. David, what do you listen to?
Honestly, it's a lot of lo-fi.
Okay.
Because I'm one of those where like lyrics can get in the way.
Yes.
Like I
that's-
can't listen to podcasts as I write.
Like I can listen to anything while I'm doing comics until I get to dialogue.
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
I have to stop it.
I'll have. Well, I mean, when I'm doing comics or whatever, I'll have like podcasts or even TV shows going.
Yeah,
On
same.
like lately, I've been watching my wrestling on the other monitor as I draw stuff. But yeah, no, when it comes to writing, it is very much the lo-fi for me. Lately, some
Gotcha.
orchestral stuff. Yeah,
Okay. Cool.
yeah.
But that's one of the big things I've been doing, really, because I haven't been like watching a lot except for like MST3K. They've been really uploading a lot of the episodes on their YouTube channel lately.
They've also been uploading the Mystery Science Theater Hour.
Bumps,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I've been getting a kick out of that.
Even some behind the scenes stuff, because they had a
Yes.
interview with Joe Estevez for Soul Taker, and like
Yeah.
Holly and I were watching that, and we couldn't help but like connect it to On Cinema because Joe is on that all the time. He's
Yeah,
a
you
regular.
told me about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of this is like the extras from the Blu-rays.
Yeah, yeah. Well, when it was Rhino, right? Not Shout Factory.
Well, no, Shout Factory too, because it was Ballyhoo Productions. Like, I've seen they have an interview with Walter George Alton, the guy that played the Puma Man,
Yeah, yeah.
and I've got that on the Blu-ray. So, but no, it's neat. Today they uploaded Ega, and I was telling Mike, in its own way, I feel like Ega is the worst between it and Manos.
Wow, that is a strong claim.
Look, I mean, Manos in its ineptitude is horrifying in its own way. Like it is, but it's not. It's unique in cinema because it's not really a movie.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing. I mean, because it's not really a movie, so it's so boring to watch. I can at least watch Ega and kind of get into it because, again,
Well,
like it's ridiculous. Arch Hall Jr., I want to smash his face with a frying pan, but
Yeah,
well, no, it's
Senior
already been
needs his
smashed.
and Senior needs his ass beat.
Yeah.
But like, well, Manos is like narcoleptic schizophrenia, I guess,
I mean,
because of the 30-second limit on each shot.
well, that and like the other thing going on with Manos is like it feels sketchy in ways that like it really shouldn't. Like the whole the brides fighting thing feels like
The gross, the only real thing I consider gross in Manos, other than the fact that, like Joel said, or one of the guys said, every shot of this movie looks like someone's last known photograph. But at the end of the movie, the little girl being one of the child brides is disgusting.
no, absolutely, but no, just like
But
I don't know.
but it's the only disgusting part of the movie. The rest of it's just dumb.
I don't know. The whole
boring.
movie feels like you get an affection if like you touch the screen or something. It's a thoroughly unpleasant film, and I thank goodness for the MST3K team for taking that hit and actually doing something with it.
Yeah, but Ega is an actual film full of horrible human beings.
Yeah, but also you got Richard Kiel.
Yeah, okay, Richard Kiel I feel bad for. And I'm not lying. Like, I'm always like, you poor son of a bitch, you don't deserve this. Like, okay, there's an obvious sexual attraction between the 50 to 60-year-old father and the actress playing his daughter, and it's obviously one-sided.
Right.
Like, the old man wants her, and she knows it, and she's horrified by it, and it comes off in the performance.
Yeah.
Then there's the part where he makes her start, like, coming onto Ega and sit. What was it? It's like Ega offers her food, and she's like, I don't want it. And he's like, well, it's
Think
better
of the
than the
alternative.
alternative.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is like, you just said the caveman's gonna just violate her.
Yeah, but at least there's more of like a story to Ega. Like it's inept.
It's a
don't get me
terrible
wrong.
story.
But like, yeah, but even then, it's like a story where like I can understand. Where Manos doesn't really have that.
Okay, but Richard Kiel licking up shaving cream.
Yeah, no, that's
I
horrific.
want to throw up like I can watch all of Manos without having to throw up, and then there's that in Ega.
I mean, that's fair. Mike, have you seen Ega and Manos: The Hands of Fate?
I've seen Manos, not Ega.
Okay. Well, we should have Mike settle this by watching Ega.
Mike, here's the thing. Before Manos, they always thought they had found, like, the worst movie ever made, Mike.
Yeah.
Ega was one of those in the running. Mm-hmm. And then they found Monster A Go-Go, which is a movie that was dropped multiple times. Like, they quit making it multiple times, and then, like, 10 years later would pick it back up to finish it.
Yeah.
And at the end of the movie, the monster there was no monster. Despite the fact that there was a monster. There is literally a scene where a guy is sitting there and has to answer a phone, and instead of Foley, a guy literally goes brr, brr, and picks up the phone.
They didn't
They
dub
just,
it in.
like they said in Attack of the Eye Creatures, they
Just didn't care.
They just didn't care.
Yeah.
And that was the worst movie they'd ever seen. And then Manos.
This just makes me want to rewatch those, so maybe I'll watch those tonight when I go to bed.
Well, I've seen Manos recently. I watched Ega today. I'm gonna have to dig up Attack of the Eye Creatures.
I mean, which one has the better riffs then, Ega or Manos?
I think Manos has the better riffs because Ega is just a lot of them going, oh,
yeah. I mean,
and
I do
booing
love
the screen.
Like, one of my all-time favorite riffs is Tom Servo going, "Oh, it's Frank Frazetta of Frank Zappa."
Yes,
I love that one.
God.
And then
Yeah.
of course Manos, not in so many words.
Yeah, I
Because of the
gotcha.
quotes.
But Manos. Oh, I gotcha. Yeah.
Silence is golden. Silence is golden.
I mean, there's one great thing from Ega that you will never be able to argue against, which is watch out for snakes.
Who said that?
There's a scene, Mike,
Yeah.
where Arch Hall Sr., Arch Hall Jr., who is not playing his son in the film, and the guy's daughter, who he wants to fuck, are going to sit off in the desert to try to look for this giant she saw. And as they're walking out of frame, just a completely separate human being's voice goes, "Watch out for snakes." And Servo just goes, "Who said that?"
Well, two other bits from Ega that I really love. Number one, the whole dune buggy sequence.
Oh,
because
God.
of the squealing. Yes. And then the other one is the pool party where they're playing they're just playing tequila.
It's a slow song, ba, 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 and every time it pauses, the guys go tequila. It is literally one of the best things they ever did.
Such a good show, man.
Now, funny thing about that scene, the pool party scene, the guy that comes up and confronts Ega is Ray Dennis Steckler.
Oh, sounds familiar.
Star and director of the incredibly strange creatures that stopped living and became mixed up zombies.
Oh, shit.
That's him that Ega confronts.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah. It's like... It's like the shittiest version of 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon.
No, it's shitty B-movie Avengers.
God, I guess it would be the 6 Degrees of Coleman Francis.
Oh, God.
Which is not a thing you ever want to play, Mike. Coleman Francis was, oh God, how do you describe Coleman Francis? Like, he was a director that shot movies without dialogue and then would, like, loop the dialogue over shots of other people not talking. Mm-hmm. So, like, if you and me were talking, Mike.
Yeah.
Every time I spoke, the camera would be on you, and every time you spoke, the camera would be on me.
Yeah.
Because they didn't record any dialogue, and no one learned their lines.
Oh, that's just this one weird trick that, the film producers don't want you to know.
Just made a YouTube video.
Like here's the thing with like Italian cinema, they wouldn't record because everybody spoke like a different language and they just dubbed everything over. But they would at least try to match the mouth movements a little bit. This is even worse than that.
Oh my God! You just reminded me of something, David. There was a recent episode of Best of the Worst.
Oh boy.
With Red Letter Media, and Jack Quaid was back, and they watched a movie called Devil's Story.
Ooh.
Have I talked about this on here?
I don't think you've talked about this one, no.
Okay, Devil's Story is a French movie shot in the Italian horror movie style that takes place in Florida.
Oh boy.
You know, Florida, with its large Gothic castles and its white Dover cliffs.
Love it. Love it.
The plot revolves around a, quote, man-freak beast that's wearing a Nazi uniform, a mummy, a pirate ship that appears to burst out of a slice of cake, and a horse.
Love it.
An old man attempting to shoot a horse with a shotgun for 10 hours.
I've got to see this. I've got to see this.
It's on Tubi. It is literally on Tubi. It's called Devil's Story. You have to see this shit.
Oh, man.
Like Jack Quaid just kept talking about, no, the name of the movie's Horse. And they kept talking about from Marvel, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it's Horse. It was so fucked up.
Love it.
But that is one of those movies you can't understand it. Like literally, the Red Letter Media guys, they cut to them sitting on the couch and they would be checking their pulse because they thought they were having a heart attack from the way it was edited. So I highly recommend it unless you have a weak heart.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to go back and watch the movie without them. It's madness, just sheer madness.
What?
There's a scene where the woman takes her extra gas tank, sets a monster on fire and burns him, then drives down the road, runs out of gas, and then they flash back to the scene that immediately just happened to remind you of why she's out of gas.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, what's the name of that movie again?
I was about to say Horse, but no, it's Devil's Story.
All right. Gonna look that shit up.
Yeah, no, you gotta. It's amazing. It is. It didn't just win Best of the Worst. I think it went into the Hall of Fame.
Love it.
So yeah. Anyway, yeah, as y'all can tell, I'm kind of a fan of bad cinema.
Mm-hmm. That's why I need to get you into On Cinema, because they've made their own movie.
Oh no.
Yes. It's called Deck of Cards, based on the best-selling Deck of Cards.
God damn it. This is like that Hershey movie they're doing.
And then Greg Turkington playing the Joker from the Deck of Cards, but he's wearing Joker makeup because he is obsessed with the Joker from Batman.
God damn it.
Yes, it's so good. It's so good.
I
will get you there. I will get you there, man.
You're already turning our Discord into cultists for this show, and you're trying to get... I'm
sorry, it's just fascinating. Like, the shit that they pulled with the 10th Oscar special, which Holly and I just watched. Not to derail your segment here, but in the previous season, there was a car accident where they rolled the car over. One guy ended up in a coma. Tim got ejected from the... Oh, and it wasn't a car. It was a van with the top cut off because it was being used as a movie studio van to like tour around Hollywood. One dude lost his vision for a while. Anyway,
okay.
So there was some questions about like, well, what exactly happened with the van? Was it like faulty maintenance or what happened? Well, Greg kept hinting at like he had footage because he has cameras on the van, right? So during the Oscar special, he hands Tim the master footage, and then he's like, okay, hey, bygones are bygones. Thank you for keeping this about the movies. Well, at the same time, Greg has started his own streaming service, which is literally a Dropbox.
Right.
He said he developed. He said he deleted the footage, but he just put it in the trash folder. So what happened
God.
was all these things are done live. These are like 3-hour shows done live, right? Fans were able to go into the Dropbox and find the footage that revealed that Tim was trying to commit suicide by
What the
driving into
fuck?
traffic. And then it happened in real time as the people in the actual show were seeing the footage.
What the fuck, David?
Yes, it is so fucking funny. And it just ends with like Tim dressed as Pinocchio. There's a long story behind that. With his nose, with his elongated nose, saying like, "I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened," crying to himself as Greg is just watching his own reenactment of the first movie ever going on loop in the background. It's so fucking Lynchian. It is so good.
What the fuck, man?
I'm gonna get you into this, man. Do that first season.
David, have you ever seen the movie Demons?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I was just gonna ask because that's like one of my favorite shitty horror movies. And I say shitty just because it's like bizarre Italian stuff with Destro handing out movie tickets. But
Yes.
anyway, if
Demons is amazing.
yeah, go see Demons and then see Demons 2 because it's the exact same cast as new characters.
Yeah.
And it's in a high-rise apartment and they're zombies.
Yeah,
not
Demons gives us the pimp. The pimp.
Yeah. Oh God, yes, the pimp. There's a pimp and his hose in the theater, and they find that the one thing that can truly kill the demons is potted plants.
And then, of course,
If you
you've got the
throw a ficus
punkers.
tree, if you throw a ficus tree at them, they will fall.
And then you've got the punkers who come into the theater, like in the middle of the movie, and just Demons is so fucking good. It's like the third Demons movie too, because of the way that they named the series. I will send you the Joe Bob Briggs rant where he talks about
I've seen it.
Demons 3 is Demons fucking 5, right?
I forgot about that. I have seen that. I want to say you sent it to me one time, but like, yeah. I watched Demons in like junior high with Marty. He invited me to spend the weekend one night, and he had it in like, the clamshell. To give you some idea, Mike, of how long ago this was, we rented it from Jitney Jungle,
Oh, damn.
which has not been a thing in like 20 years. It was a local grocery store chain.
Well, here's the thing about Demons. Like, it's a shitty movie because it's like an Italian film where they're like kind of throwing everything at the wall. But it is also
And they're trying to be American.
and it's a legitimately fun movie. Like, I enjoy myself every time I watch that movie.
Oh, I riffed it and Demons 2. Mm-hmm. Like, there's a scene where the little kid is like, he gets a phone call, and it's obviously an establishing thing to establish that the little kid's by himself. Mm-hmm. And somehow I managed to just match exactly what the kid was gonna say. And Marty just fucking died to the whole thing. It's like, hi, is your mommy home? No, mommy's not home. Is your dad there? No, daddy's not here either. So you're by yourself. I'm all alone.
Here's the crazy part about Demons, though. The movie looks incredible. The scene where all the demons are, like, the zombie demon people.
They come out of the screen?
No, when they're coming up through the lobby and they're all in shadow and their eyes are glowing.
Yeah.
Legitimately incredible looking film.
Oh, it's amazing looking. It's just stupid.
It makes no sense. And I do love the kind of downer ending to it as well.
Yeah, well, yeah. Again, I don't... And why was there a guy in a metal mask handing out movie tickets to a screening that was going to summon demons? Mm-hmm. Why was Destro there?
Right.
Because it was Destro, Mike. It was straight up Destro. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I think I've gone on long enough.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
I've talked about shitty movies and writing, which is pretty much... I think
Kevin,
it's... What?
Perfect. You should just write shitty movies.
Actually, I did start a screenplay one time for a remake of Manos.
Yeah, no. But I think you were too good for that.
Oh, yeah. Do you think I should, like, start doing my knockoff Asylum films?
Yes. Yes, right.
I was going to say...
the one we always talked about?
Well, there was atomic bees.
Mm-hmm.
There
Yeah.
was invisible raptors.
Yes.
And
Donut steal.
donuts. Yes, original concept.
Asylum,
Donut
if you're
steal.
listening to this, don't steal those.
Yeah. Austin and me came up with Beericane, which was a giant tanker of beer was hit by like a cyclone in the ocean, and it sucked the beer up, and it just and Austin was throwing out ideas like the main character's name was John the Hero, and shit like that. And like Invisible Raptors was like they were drilling for oil and hit an invisible raptor vein, and they had to like kill the queen raptor, and then Atomic Bees was this idea is so old. I wanted Bruce Campbell to be the main character when he was young enough to play the main character of anything. Like, God, what was the idea? Oh yeah, the atomic bees were attacking because he embarrassed the bees in front of their girlfriend at the bar the previous night.
That's so dumb. I love it.
Yeah, no, it was like, hey bees, yeah, I'm talking to you, you bunch of pussies.
God damn it.
And it's just one bee sitting on a bar next to like a mug of beer.
We need to write our Goblin movie, our Kentucky Goblin movie.
Oh God, yeah, as like a shitty comedy. Well, not a comedy, but like a shitty horror
comedic
movie.
horror, like Arachnophobia in vibe. I think.
Yeah. Not eight-legged freaks now, but arachnophobia.
Yeah, where like there's some genuine like menace, because I do picture like when they open up the cave and there's all these like little eyes glittering in the darkness.
Oh
just, like,
yeah,
a swarm of these fuckers come out. Like Arachnophobia plus Gremlins.
My one thing when we sell the script, I voice the goblins.
There you go.
Just duplicate it.
And then we got the old-timey prospector guy who has the pickled goblin arm.
Yes, I still love that. Oh, you want to come down here talk to me? You got to drink out of my jaw. You got to kiss the toe. You got to kiss that goblin toe.
We'll write it eventually. I think there's going to be a lot of fun stuff in that.
I want Mike in on the writing of that.
Oh, absolutely! I can start a Google Doc tomorrow.
Oh God!
Because I have it structurally. I know the 3 acts. I know the 3 acts. I can make sure the structure is sound for the film, but it's the whole thing of us just throwing in gags with these different goblin sequences and shit like that.
You gotta suck on that toe. I'm sorry, I'm stuck on the.
Like I am gonna have a scene with like a 1950s style rat rod that is just plowing through like dozens of these things.
Oh, great! Yeah. Make sure it's like, great idea. Instead of that, it could be like the car from American Graffiti. The yellow tea bucket.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like the goblins are like flying over and like one lands in the back seat and he like grabs it and throws it out. And,
Yep.
Yeah. Kind of like when Red Guy grabbed the yellow guy's dad in that one episode of Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. Mm-hmm. And threw him out the window.
Yep.
I don't know why I'm bringing that up.
Because it's a good show.
Yeah, I am hitting stream of conscious here, so I'm going to go ahead and shut up. We're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're either going to hear from Mike or David, and that will be decided by an exciting on-air coin toss. So, we will be right back after this.
Hey man, what's got you off in your phone there?
Oh, just going through all the funny Mothman memes and supernatural shit posts I've been wanting to share. I just don't know where to put the posts yet.
Don't you know about the Supernatural Selection Discord?
We have a Discord?
Yeah, for years, dude. Where have you been?
Can people chat with the hosts and get previews of upcoming episodes and generally post funny shit as much as they want with other listeners?
I mean, if that's your bag. I mean, personally, I wouldn't do that, but there are even live streaming events for the shows there, too. You've been in a few. How do you not know this stuff?
It must have been my doppelganger. How do I get into the Discord?
It's easy. Just visit discord.supernaturalselectionpod.com. Now say that 3 times fast.
Well, that's perfect. Now I can share 3 terabytes of Hollow Earth memes. Get it? Terabytes.
Never mind. Forget I said anything. Just don't do that. You should definitely not visit discord.supernaturalselectionpod.com to join the Discord. Don't. We don't want you there.
Too late. I'm already posting my alien abduction fan fiction with the general chat.
Join the hosts and listeners of Supernatural Selection on the official Discord. Just visit discord.supernaturalselectionpod.com.
Welcome back. I have had my cheese, and we're back in the distraction hole. Now, as I said, we're going to do a coin flip. And I've got my Tarvalin Mark here.
Nerd.
You got it for me.
Bigger nerd.
So,
The pot has to call the kettle black.
all right. Mike,
Yeah.
you get to call it. Head or flame?
Luz Theron.
What? That's not an option.
Tails.
It's David.
Okay.
Yep, it was head. Sorry, Mike.
It's okay. I kind of wanted to go
all right.
last anyway.
Okay, well,
No, that's fair.
David, what have you been up to?
Well, I would like to talk about Daredevil a bit, but first I want to talk about, like, the big news is that we are entering a world that is post-4chan.
I'm still, like,
Wait, what?
shook.
Yeah,
What are you talking
so,
about, Willis?
yeah, last week, 4chan was hacked, and
Yeah, I heard
it
about
is
that.
still not back.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So-
and the damage is substantial. So actually, this is kind of like a week in weird because I got a little bit of an article to read for us,
Uh-huh.
and then we could talk about like
Oh.
the fact that like 4chan may never come back.
Yeah.
And people think they may have found out who Elon Musk's account was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Supposedly,
had posted that.
allegedly.
Yeah,
Allegedly.
yeah, like I take it with a boulder of salt, but like
I mean-
it's here's the fucked up part when you read that shit. It's like, no, that sounds like Elon.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I read that and was like, oh yeah, I could hear his voice, you know, saying this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
All right. Well,
yeah.
okay. Let me read this a little bit. It's a short article, but notorious image board 4chan hacked and internal data leaked on April 15th. This was on TechCrunch. And notorious internet forum 4chan was hacked on Tuesday. As the time of this writing, 4chan's website was not loading, and users on social media reported the site had been intermittently down for hours. Messages on a rival board, which TechCrunch has seen, celebrated the hack, with one person claiming that the hacker responsible for the breach was inside 4chan's system for over a year.
Good Lord.
Several
year.
screenshots. Oh yeah, yeah. Several screenshots showing what appears to be 4chan's backend circulated online, showing the site's alleged backend source code and templates to ban users, which would only be accessible to the site's moderators. Also in the leaked data was a list of 4chan's alleged moderators and janitors, who can delete posts and threads but have fewer privileges than moderators, who can also see IP addresses of users, for example. Obviously, okay, continuing here. Given 4chan's known violent political ties, the cyber attack could potentially expose the people who run these forums, which have become central to alt-right movements. They interviewed one of the janitors, and said, "I have no reason to believe otherwise regarding the veracity of the hack."
Okay.
And the screenshots. So, yeah, I mean, this is huge news.
This is a big, like, I mean, it's fucking 4chan. And there's still a part of me that, like, I remember going on 4chan to look at cartoon pictures. And, like, that is just how I see 4chan. And now you bring up 4chan, it's like major political shit. And I don't know. I'm still shocked by that part of it. And now this.
Yeah. Like, because I've been on 4chan since, like, God, when did the board start? 2012? No.
Yeah, when did they?
It couldn't have been.
Yeah, when did they ban lowly stuff on Something Awful, Mike?
I don't remember, but that was there was a big anime death
2003
whorehouse.
Okay,
purge,
yeah. That all started because they banned LolitaCon on Something Awful.
Which is fair.
Forums.
They started 4chan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So bunch of perverts.
4chan,
Moot.
Yeah.
Moot. Yes.
Yeah. 4chan launched in 2003. I remember being on it as far back as 2004, from what I can recall.
Yeah.
But I'm like one of like the I guess you might call me like a normie 4chaner, because like I would spend time on like the video game board, which is its own problem, right? But I'd also spend time on like the comics and cartoon board and the art board.
That was comic cartoon was where I spent most of my time.
Yeah. But like here's the thing, like when we talk about the show being the distraction hole, I can't tell you how many times I would go to my 4chan catalog that is on my bookmark bar on my browser just to see what shit posts are going on, as I'm supposed to be doing something else.
And shit, dude, how many times? I mean, X can't give it to us anymore.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Like, I'll be working on something, then it's like, okay, we'll see what's on 4chan right now. And, like, I can't do that anymore. I still have the link on my bar, and, like, nothing's there. And I spent so much time on that website.
I mean, like, are there still... I remember there were a shit ton of boards back in the day, but, like, most of those got shut down for, like, being... all
they would purge. Yeah, they would purge a lot of boards. But yeah, no, like the site's just fucking gone.
That's insane
right now. Yeah, it's wild to me, and it's weird because in my English 101, we cover Pepe the Frog, because we cover memes and like the cultural capital of memes. So we talk about Pepe the Frog. We watch that documentary, Feels Good Man, and in one of my lectures, I talk about 4chan. And it's going to be weird because next semester, potentially, I'm going to have to talk about 4chan in the past tense, like it no longer exists.
God, that is so fucked.
And it is an entire chapter of internet culture, extremely influential internet culture, that is just kind of like lost.
Yeah. Shit. It just dawned on me, Something Awful has actually outlived 4chan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but there was a period where there was pretty iffy. Like we thought we might lose Something Awful at one point. The forums,
fucking low tax.
Yeah, because low tax and him being a dumb asshole. It seemed like he was just going to drag it down with him as he was circling the drain. But luckily, he sold it off to
Jeffrey.
Jeff, yeah.
And here's the thing, like. There are other image boards out there.
Oh yeah,
and I don't know if I'm going to be able to.
Like Panoply.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to find an alternative, and it's going to be weird. Again, 4chan, incredibly toxic cesspool of the internet. A lot of bad shit came out of it, but also I've met several friends through 4chan, through the comics board, because they had like the threads about making comics. And that's where I met Def Beck, for example, who I've partnered with.
That's where you met
multiple times. Yeah, and then also Robert, who's been a guest on our show.
Livingston.
Yeah,
right?
Robert Livingston. Yeah, I met him on 4chan.
Son of a bitch, really? I met him. I just met him through Comicadia, so.
Yeah, no, it was through the webcomic threads, right? Where people would how's your webcomic, right? I still have a couple of my text documents open when I was there at the early stages, back when they were single digits threads, where it was like, how's your webcomic number 2? And I already had like a Google list with people. All right, folks, post your comics in the Google list or whatever. So
and I'll read it. Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and it's fucking weird, dude, that is gone.
Man, nobody felt this way when Dig shut down that first time.
But then again, 4chan legitimately changed internet culture. Like, obviously,
it did.
Something Awful was first. And then 4chan kind of blossomed out of that. Well, blossomed like a corpse flower.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
Big, stinky corpse flower.
It was
But,
like the stinking, rotting flower growing on the grave.
But think of
pedophilia.
how much shit came out of 4chan that is like
Oh, I know.
hugely culturally important.
I mean, like the whole green text thing. I mean, all that.
Like the majority of meme culture in general. Like, his memes existed, prior to 4chan, but like because 4chan was so rapid, it changed like that meme culture that like we all have now.
Yeah.
So you can see why I'm still kind of like blown away by this news, dude.
No, dude, I
crazy.
am too. I haven't been on there in years, but like, I mean, shit, this is like, hey, everybody, CNN shut down. It's kind of that level of cultural impact.
Yeah, I mean,
If you're,
because
if you're a boomer, I guess, but.
well, yeah, I mean, and without 4chan, you wouldn't really have had like the anonymous movement for that. Like, is hit or miss with certain things, but like did some legitimately important stuff.
Yeah. God, it is so fucking weird.
Like, if they made a history textbook just about the internet, this is like an entire chapter.
Yeah.
Right here.
God, it is so fucked. And I'm sorry, I keep saying that, and that's probably not like good journalism, but like, it's shocking.
It really is.
I mean, shit, imagine if Neopets shut down. Wait, that's not even.
Habbo Hotel. Oh, wait. Toontown Online. Oh, wait.
Club Penguin. Fuck.
Well, and here's the other thing. With the way, like, Web 2.0 works, 4chan felt very Web 1.0.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it was based on, like, the Japanese internet back when I was first getting online was its own thing, and I would go to look for like obscure anime shit on Japanese image boards, and it was always like 10 years behind whatever was on an American site as far as appearance and technology.
Yeah, Japanese web design is its own kind of thing. We can talk about that sometime.
And that's 4chan is a direct child
it's direct
of that.
Copy of 2chan.
Yeah.
It's a direct copy of 2chan.
It's the exact same software.
But yeah, I can't think of any other website that exists right now that still has that kind of very old feel to it.
Yeah, you're right. I can't think of any.
Even thinking of like fucking Tumblr, right?
Oh god.
It still has a whole bunch of like.
Well, it's there, but who cares? And like, it's like, hey guys, you want to check out my Flickr? It's that kind of cultural irrelevance.
So, I mean, so you have 2chan, 4chan, 8chan. Just keep going. We need like 512chan.
Super Mario
128
128
chan, yeah. The binary, 2, 4, 8, 16, 24, 32, 64, 128.
Okay.
It's the binary, no, not binary, but it's the byte, exponentials. Well, I guess it's binary too, but
it's going to be weird not having like a central image board culture, because I'll tell you one thing about like image board culture. That's like the best example of like what democracy actually is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because
fucking
if the
chaos.
stuff is and if stuff is like some people want to bump, they will bump it. If it's shit, no one cares, it goes away. But like it's just
What else came from 4chan? Anonymous.
Yeah, that's what David was talking
Oh, sorry,
about.
I must have been zoned out at the time.
Yeah.
no, that's fair. People do that when I teach. So
Now, you know what else came from 4chan? I believe was Reddit.
Possibly, I don't know.
I
for sure.
believe
maybe,
Reddit.
yeah.
Yeah, Reddit was like come up with because they were getting sick of 4chan culture. So
That's rich.
ain't it though?
They probably were like, hey, how about 4chan, but we could make money at it.
And for years I bitched about I fucking hate Reddit. Now I'm on there like every fucking day.
Well, I think the thing with Reddit, it's has the algorithmic discovery thing that a lot of places like the alpha forums, you have to go to these individual forums to see subjects, whereas with Reddit, you can just have a feed of all these subjects you're interested in and just get, a fire hose of, topics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, and also, I mean, that's if Reddit shuts down, I'm fucked on segments.
Oh, Reddit's kind of a shithole in its own right. But
It is,
like
and that's why I go to UFOB all the time.
Like the admins are kind of, they're doing the tech bro thing of starting to lean right.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
Yeah, you can't even post Luigi without getting a warning.
Yeah. You get fucking banned if you, say Luigi.
I'm posting Mario.
Even in the fucking, Nintendo sub.
Sons of bitches.
You call him Green Mario.
Yeah.
Yeah, Green Mario.
Yeah.
Or you bring up Waluigi.
Wah.
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 Sorry.
All right, Mike, you go. You do it.
Wah.
Thank you. There we go.
There we go. Almost got Waluigi blue balled there.
Yes. Don't leave me hanging. Oh, man.
But yeah. So I figured bringing that up. But I mean, again, like, I'm not the only one freaking out about this, which is also, and when I say freaking out, I don't mean I'm like legitimately like freaking out. But no, like this is a big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is a large corner of the internet just, shutting down. Or at least hasn't come back yet. I mean, there's been no official statement, right?
Yeah, just again, I'm looking for more statements, and there's not a whole lot because number one, a lot of these people who run the thing don't want to get.
Well, yeah, they're
outed,
doing
right?
it anonymously.
Yeah.
Wasn't 4chan sold to someone recently?
I don't know.
Because I know Moot has been gone for quite a while.
Oh, yeah, years.
Was it sold to like a Japanese gentleman or something like that?
I'm gonna look, see if it lists who owns it. Owner Hiroyuki Nishimura.
I remember reading that
since
not long
2015.
ago. Oh, okay. Wow, that was a longer time ago than I thought it was. Maybe it just came up again recently.
Yeah.
Oh man, crazy times.
Yeah. It's definitely a big deal because they've updated the Wikipedia article.
So I wonder, maybe I don't know. It seems like if it was making money, you think they'd want it to come back. Maybe they're trying to fix it and just can't fix the flaws that were exploited.
I don't know if they made that much money from it, though.
I mean, they have that.
They have ads.
They had to have been making something, otherwise it wouldn't have still been up, right? And this could be the tipping point of, the financial cost to fix the flaws is probably more than what it's worth. It's kind of one of those, you're limping your car along. It's, you're spending a little bit of money, but it's not really breaking the bank. And then all of a sudden, you need like $1,000 in repairs. And it's like, well, this car is like a $500 shit box. I'm not sinking $1,000 into it. So I'm just going to buy another $1,000 shit box.
Well, I mean,
kind of same, sunk cost.
Kind of depends on how conspiratorial you are,
sunk cost.
because we need to point out that like 4chan did have undue influence in the past 10 years of elections.
Yes.
So it would not surprise me if like the site really wasn't making that much money, but like people from a certain side perhaps making donations.
It up.
Yeah. Specifically because that image board culture, again, really helped to push Trump forward as a candidate, and there's a lot of evidence supporting that. And it would make sense to me, like maybe this thing lost money, but it's not about making money. It's about, for lack of better words, sending a message.
I will say I'm a little surprised I'm not finding any threads about it on Something Awful, even in ADTRW.
It is no sweat off their back.
Yeah. Which, I thought somebody would be like, hey, guys, check this out, lol.
Right.
But, wait a minute.
I mean,
I didn't check in FYAD yet.
And I'll say that, it's still early, but the fact that, it's been at least 5 days so far, and 4chan is just gone, is pretty wild.
It is.
No, it is cray-cray.
So, in my process of checking something awful for threads about 4chan just to get the general vibe from them, I went into FYAD, which is it's called the Chaos Forum on there.
Mm-hmm.
It's just balls to the wall insanity.
It's the cradle of shit posting.
It is.
Yeah,
It's
the B equivalent on 4chan.
If there was a Tigris and Euphrates of shitpost culture,
It's FYD.
this is the Babylon of shitpost culture.
Yeah.
FYAD stands for fuck you and die. Mm-hmm. Okay? And while there is not a thread about 4chan, one of the very first threads, to give you some idea, is Jim Henson was a Nazi. So, gonna close the tab and move on.
Well, and speaking of moving on, this is a developing story. We'll come back to it over time. So, Daredevil, born again.
Yes.
Yeah, y'all have fun talking about that.
Well, I mean, I don't know if we want to go too deep into it, but I just got to say I really enjoyed myself.
It was pretty good. I mean, it wasn't the best thing I've ever seen, but I had some issues with it, but it was not a waste of my time.
Yeah, it didn't hit the heights quite of like the Netflix Daredevil, but even then, like it still delivered a lot of really good stuff.
I've heard good things about it.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it's a good continuation, I think.
There's also a YouTube channel me and Gage will watch occasionally called Cosmonaut Marcus. And he put up a video that said Daredevil Born Again is a Mess was the title. And his big thing was there were some fantastic episodes and then there was the rest of them. So that was his feeling on it.
Yeah, and the show had a lot going against it with like the retooling and the switching of showrunners. Even like the episodes that weren't great were still a lot of fun though.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of like compartmentalization in the season. Like the first 6 episodes feel kind of like loosely structured thematically. Because they were trying to get kind of like a seasonal arc pulled together. And then like 7, 8, and 9 is when like the new showrunners kind of come in and they kind of lock it down and they borrow stuff from the first 6 episodes, but they're kind of going their own direction with it. It's a show that like you could tell there was a lot of tooling with it.
Gotcha.
But like as a Daredevil fan, because Daredevil is one of my favorite Marvel characters, absolutely just being able to see like Matt Murdock do the whole agile leaping across buildings using the billy clubs as a Spider-Man type swinging thing. Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin, one of the goriest things I've ever seen on a Marvel production.
I have heard a lot about that scene.
Yeah, and just seeing Frank Castle again, because I'm
gonna say I'm not fond of him as Frank. He does not have good rage energy. It's kind of I mean I laughed every time he started like yelling in rage.
He's got a little bit of a gorilla grunt. He does.
Yeah, it's. Yeah. I mean,
but I like him as an actor, and I like what he brings to Frank regarding like Frank is fucking hilarious in this.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, Frank's a funny guy. I like that he's kind of playing Frank as kind of a black humor thing, but
anytime he starts like, whoa, like kind of feels very Stallone-ish.
Yeah, he's always been that way though.
I've seen
the actor. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I saw him in Walking Dead and stuff. So yeah.
But I do like his like overall maybe the gorilla grunting is a little much at times, but also like I can't say that I wouldn't kind of make those noises if I were in his position. Just so untethered by rage that knows no bounds, and you're just stabbing and
I smolder with generic rage.
I mean, I have not gone on a rampage yet.
Yeah.
Time will tell. But I can't guarantee you that I won't make some really embarrassing noises as I'm like
the
going on
term
a rampage.
is still
I don't know.
young.
I don't know. Have you guys gone on a rampage? How do you sound?
I sound like a little weenie.
I've not gone like a rampage. I mean, I've kind of lashed out before, but I don't remember making any, vocalizations.
Yeah, so, I mean, we don't know. We simply do not know.
Maybe I'll go on a rampage and go and sound like Kirby or something.
Yeah, no, there you go. Play-o!
I would love to hear you go off as Kirby.
But no, like, again, like, I like the trajectory of the season going into the next one. I see how they're going to bring in some other characters. That'll be fun. I hope they bring them all back, including Iron Fist.
They said, pretty much everybody's willing to come back, so it'll be interesting to see who does and who they want to bring back.
But there is a difference between those first 6 and those last 3, because those last 3 really came together, I think, in a very strong way.
So some of the first 6 were, at least one of them, the bank heist, the bank robbery thing was kind of a standalone.
I did really like that one, though. The bank heist was a lot of fun. Yeah. That first episode where we get to see like that bullseye fight, which, number one, I am glad that they've learned not to kill off their villains.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to have them, quote, die, at least make it in a way that, wouldn't be bullshit to, like, when you bring them back. Don't show them with their head cut off or something.
And Bullseye is one of those Daredevil villains who's just too good to not have in the mix somewhere. So, like, number one, the fact that, like, the first season, the first episode opens with Bullseye doing his thing, taking out a major character, and then we get him again throughout the season.
Yeah. And look when he took out that guard with the tooth, that was, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, straight out of the comics, man. Like, they've got his, like, Bullseye bullshit, which I've always loved, where it's like, okay, hey, I've got a paperclip, let me kill a dude. But
I can kill you 10 ways with a straw, 20 if it has the wrapper.
Right. And it's so two things that I really liked about the season. The whole Fisk and Vanessa arc.
Yeah.
I really liked the relationship between Fisk and Vanessa. Like, I really enjoyed it. That kind of, like, tete-a-tete of, like, will she or won't she betray him? Like, I saw that Godfather setup that they had in that one episode, where it's kind of, they're trying to, like, make you think that she's going to betray him. She doesn't. I thought that was wonderful. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to bring you home some food. Or whatever, like a married couple.
Yeah, so I think the only time where it seemed like there was a real possibility it might is when he brought her down to the murder dungeon for the guy who's been keeping locked up for, like, what, half a year, something like that.
Yeah,
that was her, what, like, personal trainer or something like that.
Well, she had an affair with him, but he was like an artist. Yeah,
that's right. She was an artist that she had an affair with. Yeah.
God, that scene where he came down and let the guy out and gave him the axe and just beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, like, I was actually surprised when it turns out he hadn't killed him in that scene.
But it just makes him all the better as a villain because it's even more sadistic. And then when Vanessa finally puts two and two together, she's like, no, fine. She shoots the guy, right? It's wonderfully done. The other thing,
she is super fucked up too.
Yeah, no, she's fantastic. I'm so glad that they kept her because I think they were originally going to recast her.
Really?
Oh God.
Yeah, and she's so damn good in that role. The other thing I really liked, and this was because I had a conversation with someone in my gaming group who was kind of like, I don't like that Matt isn't going back into the suit. And I was like, well, have you ever read Daredevil comics? Because Matt is constantly fighting whether or not he's going to go back in the suit. He has these periods where he just refuses to go. So, again, this is a very Daredevil thing where, like, he'll put the suit up and then he'll spend a bunch of time away from it. And, like, I don't know, man.
And then he just has another hit. He just to come back. He's like, fuck it. I got to come back. I need it. I can quit anytime I want.
Yeah, the one episode where he fought the two... By the way, that one cop who keeps getting his shit rocked by Daredevil is hilarious. But, like, when he was in the informant's kitchen and then, like, beat the shit out of those cops, that was great. And then also at the end of the bank heist episode where he's got the mask and he like breaks that dude's what was his leg?
Oh God,
Yeah.
Gage
Yeah.
accidentally showed me that, and I was like, I can't watch this show.
I appreciate that they're not skimping on the violence. Like that
No,
was
I'm
something that I
glad
was
they're
concerned
not
about.
skimping on it either, just because, like, you know, Disney. I was like, I don't know if they can do a Daredevil.
I think they knew that they couldn't really fuck with Daredevil in that regard because that's one of those things that really set that show apart. For you know other Marvel stuff, and you know I think at this point Matt Murdock is officially the MCU character with the most screen time.
Yeah.
Which, you know, if I were to label like the 4 pillars of the MCU, you would have to put Matt Murdock up there, representing that whole kind of angle of Marvel. I guess I think you definitely put Captain America and Iron Man up there for
Yeah.
2 and 3. But like, who would be that 4th pillar?
Bucky?
I don't know if he's got like that cultural capital. Like, cause I'm thinking of like big characters who represent like what the MCU was. So, you know, for the whole Netflix street level stuff, you would have Matt Murdock, Daredevil.
Yeah.
Obviously, Captain America had the strongest original trilogy of the MCU, and like being like the big Avenger who kind of like. Well, obviously, Iron Man gives up everything. You have to have Iron Man up there.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, Iron Man, a little above
I
Cap,
would-
but as far as, you know, the MCU goes, like,
Yeah.
I'd say, you know, Cap as far as just the Marvel hero in general, but, you know,
And then I think just because the character is too big, it would have to be Spider-Man.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, if we were to say like here are the 4 pillars of what the MCU is right now, it would be Captain America, Iron Man, Spider-Man, and Daredevil. And that seems about right. I think they're all 4 kind of equal in their weight as far as MCU representation is.
Only because early on, you know, Marvel decided to screw Coulson out of it.
Oh,
Yeah, no.
yeah.
Decided to
I
not
still-
have him, include him in, you know, or not bridge the, you know, movies
Yeah,
and TV
it
shows.
was like a
at the
one-way
time.
bridge.
Yeah.
But I do think that eventually they should just like pull the trigger and say, you know what, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., canon. Because that was a good show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good show. But yeah, no, I'm very excited about what we're heading into with Daredevil Born Again Season 2. I'm curious where it fits on the timeline, given Captain America Brave New World and then the upcoming Thunderbolts, which I'm actually really excited about.
I mean, I want to see Thunderbolts. I'm like super excited about it.
I do really like the idea of like giving these like more anti-hero villain characters. It's basically kind of like the original Thunderbolts. It'd be hard to describe it as like a Suicide Squad thing, but this film version is definitely kind
Yeah,
of giving that vibe.
I mean, I think I might see it in theaters just because it's been so long since, let's see, the last movie I saw in theater was, what was it? Was it?
I don't remember.
I'm trying to remember what came out last year that I saw in theaters. Yeah, it's been that long. Like, it was something, you know, last year, probably during the summer, just late summer.
Well, what's your big theater chain out there? where you guys are?
So we usually go to Malco when we go to the
I have
movies.
never heard of that chain.
Yeah, neither did we until they opened a location. There kind of seems to be kind of a mid-central, you know, USA kind of
Yeah.
chain. Their big thing is like, you know,
The only other one local around here is Cinemark out in Pearl, and we don't like going to that one.
yeah, all the so all the UA theaters closed obviously when UA went tits up, but some of them have come back as other chains. Like the one kind of nearest to us actually is a B&B. Forget what. I think it's just the name of the company. They have alcohol in their theaters, and they have, you know, the crazy chair, like gangs of chairs that move, kind of motion based
Yeah.
style.
Yeah.
And then one down by the airport reopened as a legacy theater. I don't know if that's the name of the chain or what, but it was also a UA house that reopened. All the other UAs became churches.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, every movie theater around here just about ends up becoming a church.
Well, not every, but a couple of them. A couple of the United Artists theaters that closed down became churches.
Yeah.
Well, I do have like two points I want to bring up, and then I'm good. I'm good to pass it on.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out like where. So I'm hoping beyond hope that like Marvel and Sony can negotiate this to get Spider-Man into Born Again season 2.
That would be neat.
Yeah.
Because of what's going on with New York.
Yeah, the whole vigilante thing.
Yeah. And you know, like if they can get him for an episode and say that he's dealing with like, you know, something more important that's beyond Daredevil, that makes sense because, you know, Spider-Man being such an enhanced character, it would make sense that he's got a bigger fish to fry, but he can help out Matt.
Yeah. And he's like, I don't know, there's some guy with a lion vest. I don't know who he is.
Yeah. Because I want to see, you know, Daredevil and I want to see Spider-Man in the suits and I want them to have a scene.
Yeah.
Kind of like they did with She-Hulk.
Yeah, I legitimately just want a scene where Charlie Cox is in the costume, Tom Holland is in the costume or a stunt double or however they want to do it, and it's just the two of them talking for just a little bit because that is something that I love from the comics is the fact that these are two workaday heroes that like talk to each other.
And I would also like for Peter to be like, "Aren't you my lawyer?"
But then Matt would be like, I don't know who you are.
Well, here's the thing: is I think they both because of their powers could tell who the other is.
Except I forgot that he wouldn't remember him because of the fucking spell.
That's exactly it.
But I would think that they would both be professional enough that they wouldn't mention it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I hope that fingers crossed. I'll masturbate on a sigil later to it.
Oh God damn it!
To make it happen, but no, I feel like that's because I don't think I'm ever going to get the Johnny Storm and Spider-Man scene.
I don't know. I really was hoping we'd get that.
Yeah, I would love for that to happen. I don't think we're getting that, but I think there is still a chance, even a slight chance, to get the Spider-Man and Daredevil scene. Other than that, well, I guess that's it regarding my points here. So yeah, I think I'm good unless you guys want to add anything.
Yeah, I mean, I got nothing. I don't want to drag it out with just umming and ahhing, so I'm good.
We can always bring up some points later. So yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to take another quick break, and when we come back, we're going to hear from Mike, and then we've got a game. So we will be right back after this. Hey, Kevin here. Hope you're enjoying the episode.
Hey, who are you talking to, Kevin?
Listeners of our shows, I also want to let them know that if they're enjoying what we've been doing, they can support us on Patreon.
Oh, Patreon. Were you going to tell them about the early episodes? Also, Patreon-exclusive episodes that can be found there, too?
Well, yeah, I was going to do
yeah, and then there's the other cool stuff, including art, merch for subscribers, like tote bags, hoodies, shirts, mugs.
Yeah, and
can you believe people could support us for only $5 a month? You're definitely going to mention that, too, right?
I was. Support Supernatural Selection and The Distraction Hole on Patreon for as little as $5 a month. Visit patreon.supernaturalselectionpod.com to learn more and get started today.
So that's where I hid the bodies.
Awesome! Well, we're back.
Oh, wait a minute. You're recording? Shit.
Yep. And now, back to the Mike Show. Mike, what have you been doing to distract yourself? What have you been up to?
Nothing. Good night.
All right, time for a game. No.
So let's see. Haven't watched any real anime lately. I have this problem in that I've been adding anime to my list way more than I've been watching, which right now is 0, but even before that. So I have this ever growing backlog of just impossible to catch up with shows. So I need to start something. So we talked about Daredevil, to watch Daredevil. I need to finish Reacher season 3, which I've watched everything but the last episode. It's, it's all right. It's not the best entertainment there is, but it's, if you want to see competent guy do things and beat up bad guys extrajudiciously.
I mean, sometimes you do want to see that, right? Now, it's based on books, right?
Yeah, Lee Childs, which is a pen name for a British author.
So are you familiar with the books, or are you just like watching the show?
No, so I'd seen the Tom Cruise movie, ages ago, and was familiar with that. Never saw the sequel, I don't think. But I'd watched it as kind of, I want to watch an action movie, I'll watch that. And then when Amazon did the series, I was like, I got Amazon Prime. I was just kind of looking through, and I saw the Reacher thing. I was like, oh yeah, I heard about this. It's, a real take, a more book faithful take than the movies was. Let me watch that. And I watched it. It was all right. It was, it's what, it's definitely a super competent protagonist that, the entertainment is watching him be badass.
So like a Gary Stu.
Yeah. Like what was the guy Sanderson? I can't remember the guy's name. I think we mentioned it before when we talked about the Sanderson lectures, but
so if it was a woman who was doing this stuff, they would be considered woke, but it's okay.
No, it's more like, it's like the idea of like Doc Samson, not Doc Samson, Man of Bronze,
Yeah, it's not quite Mary Sue. It's not like
it's just hyper capable strongman.
Right. Yeah, it's like James Bond. Like James Bond is, he may not get it right every single time, but he is the best at what he does.
Mm-hmm.
Him best at what him do.
Yeah. So, I wish I could remember what Sanderson called that kind of genre. But ow, Ginger, I'm not giving you a cheese puff. She bit my foot because I'm, ignoring her. I'm talking. But yeah, it's just him, in this one, he's like the first episode, was kind of a fake out. Like it sets up this thing and it looks like, he's, because the other previous one, the first season was him kind of getting mixed up with this thing, just kind of by accident. I think he helped someone out and it just kind of drug him into this kind of, whole, shit, crime shit. And this seems to be the same thing. And then it turns out, no, he's purposefully infiltrating them for some reason. And you find out, all the other stuff. So, pretty interesting. And there's dozens of these books. So, if this series does well, they just have material for ages because they seem to be doing each season is a book.
Yeah. I mean, from what I've seen of the actor, I like him. He's
He was in I don't know if you ever watched Titans, but he was Hawk.
Oh wow,
Titans.
okay.
Oh yeah, I've seen a lot of things where he was in it was just, crazy to see all the other things because he's bulked up a lot for this role. So he looks like a fucking, linebacker.
I haven't watched Reacher, but I will say I actually really like the actor.
He's a great actor. I think that, and, in Reacher, it's funny when they, the Tom Cruise movies, it's Tom Cruise. But Reacher is supposed to be this guy. He's supposed to be 6'3", 250 pounds. He can intimidate anybody just by standing up to him. And, then you have Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I mean, it was the same thing with James Bond because, the Bond that we started with Sean Connery, the more accurate Bond would have been Daniel Craig.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. When they cast Daniel Craig, a lot of people were pissed off. I'm like, well, we've got a book-accurate James, so shut up.
Yeah, because he's supposed to be, not that suave.
Yeah, he
looking, right?
Literally in the movie, they describe him
ugly.
as a blunt instrument, and that is literally what Daniel Craig's Bond is.
Yeah, they describe it like he said, he's not terribly handsome and he looks vaguely like a pirate.
Yes.
So, I mean, take that how you want, man. You can bitch about Daniel Craig, but, like, we got Bond finally.
He's one of my favorites. Absolutely.
Yeah, same.
But
Yeah,
Reacher.
so, I need to finish that. I need to watch the last... Well, he's been in a lot. I was just looking up his, filmography, and he's been in quite a lot since, the early 2000s.
Oh, quite a lot.
Yes. Like, he was in, CSI and Smallville.
Yeah,
He was in Smallville?
Yeah, he was in 4 episodes as Arthur Curry, Aquaman.
Oh, shit, he was Aquaman. Oh, hell. Okay.
I saw him
Yeah.
in that movie, The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, and he was a fun character in that.
I didn't get to see that, but I kind of wanted
It's-
to.
He's been in a couple of...
It feels
He's been
like
Raphael in a couple of Ninja Turtles
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
Oh, he was, in the Michael Bay ones.
Yeah,
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, those were the Michael Bay
he was in
ones.
Beowulf.
He was in an episode of Workaholics. Wow.
Legends of
yeah,
Tomorrow. Supergirl. Yeah, no, like he's working, man. He's working, but he puts in the work, and then he gets like that leading show that really shows him off. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like he deserves the success he's getting.
Yeah.
he's also like really cool, just like his like politics and like his being like an ally and shit. Like I also appreciate that. He just seems like a
Lots-
rad dude, and I wish him all the best.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, cool guy.
Yeah.
So, let's see here. And other than that, games, like I started playing again, Space Engineers, which is kind of, it's kind of Minecraft in space ish. Like it started out as a space game where you could build ships and they're like, destructible and deformable. So if you like, smash 2 ships together, they get all like twisted and bits fall off and you get dented and all. It's kind of got some survival mechanics, as in you have like an oxygen supply that if you're playing the survival mode, you have to make sure you have air and make sure you have power, so you have suit heaters. But there's not like in the base game, there's not like food and stuff like that, although you can put mods in for that. There's a lot of mods in the workshop, but started playing that, just messing around. Well, not messing around, but started on a Earth-like planet and having to build a ship so I can like go to space so I can find uranium, because you can't find uranium on the planet. And and then I end up watching a Let's Play series by, what's that guy's name? Splitsy. So I'm like,
I don't know that.
Yeah, I don't know who that
I mean,
is.
nobody knows it either unless you watch space or like Space Engineers, but he's apparently a Space Engineers Let's Player, YouTuber, and streamer. And like 77 episodes into his Survival Impossible series, which is like he ramped up the difficulty, like he added mods for stuff like food and decreased resource gathering when you gather resources and stuff like he can't use his jetpack on planet, which in normal Space Engineers you can just like as long as you have fuel for your jetpack, you can like fly around on the planet and build things and build giant structures. But he nerfed that, so he has to use like scaffoldings and like build vehicles that can have like a cherry picker, so it can like lift him up and get him to the higher things so he can build stuff. So I've been watching a lot of that and falling asleep to that, because a lot of, if it's a very talky YouTube show, it'll put me right to sleep. Like if I'm sitting in my chair, I've
Yeah.
it's after midnight or even close to midnight, and I've already eaten and everything. I'm just like sitting there going just nodding off, and
I have caught Mike asleep several times.
because I snore. Like I know
A lot.
Like I know, well, I'm like dozing off, and snore, and I wake up, and I look over, and Kevin's looking at me, and I was like, damn it. So that's really the biggest thing I've been watching, because like I said, 77 episodes. Although some of them I do skip through because, it's can get repetitive. It's basically space Minecraft. So if he's in a big project that's like just taking a while, I'll just skip ahead to see, okay, when's this end? Let's see, what else? I don't know. I can't really think of anything else. I've been very boring lately.
Oh, Mike, did you like Mythbusters?
Yes.
Okay, there is now a 24-hour Mythbusters channel on Pluto TV. I've been going to bed watching that. It's wonderful.
Interesting.
I didn't know.
Although, you know what I know, my favorite show to fall asleep to? How It's Made.
Yes. Oh my god.
That's great to fall asleep to.
Who doesn't love How It's Made?
I've got a great How It's Made story, but I'm not going to share it here right now. I will probably tell you guys off air.
Okay.
Yeah, but remind me to tell you that story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Audience, you're getting blue balled.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ginger, you're getting blue balled.
Cheese puffs. Cheese puffs.
Yes.
You want to talk about some shows, man? So we got this friend that has, and I've mentioned it before, he's got a Twitch channel called Dead Media Club, and he plays VHS tapes and laser discs. And
We ought to have him on.
We should get on.
Yeah.
I'll please bleep that name for now.
Yeah. Until we get his permission.
Yeah, but today the first tape he played, fucking Junkyard Wars.
Yes.
A VHS tape of Junkyard Wars.
A fucking VHS tape of Junkyard Wars, followed by a VHS tape of Satanic Panic shit.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, we need to have him on just as a guest for probably like this show. But then, like, we should collab and do some, like, commentary over some of that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Although, he may be busy for a little while because they're opening, like, the co-op thing. But once that's done...
Oh, tell him about the co-op.
Should get him on to talk about the co-op.
Yeah.
So he lives in... I guess it's fine to say where if we're going to talk about it.
He lives in Pennsylvania.
Yes. In a major city. And they're opening like a retro technology co-op with some local it's all Dragon Con friends, and I've met a few of them. I think I've met everybody that's going in on this, and they've rented it. They're renting a space. They're gonna have a little. I think they're gonna have kind of a section for they're going to do some restorations of stuff. Like if you have like a TV. I don't know if they can do TVs, but like some electronics, VCR, something that's got a simple fix, but you're not up to fixing it. See if they can do it. Also, if you can fix it, but you don't have like the tools, maybe you can come in and, work on it there. Also a little retail thing. So yeah, it sounds really cool. I really want to go when, once they have it up and running.
Yeah.
If I live nearby, I would totally volunteer there.
Yeah, no, that sounds rad as shit.
Yeah, no, it's just the kind of thing I'd love.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, they'll buy some stuff themselves and fix it up and sell it,
And aren't they doing it as like a museum as well?
Oh yeah, there'll be like a little museum section, so they'll have, a place to put all their stuff that they've gathered and don't want to part with, but want to let people experience. Like, has I should beep that again until we get permission. He has a CED player and a collection of discs. Do you know what a CED is?
Isn't that the CD player that has menus? Because I remember Disney used to do those at Disney World because it was cutting edge at the time.
So the CED is the capacitive electronic disc. It was an RCA format, and it is literally video vinyl records. Because because on the vinyl they were able to put a electronic, like, it's basically like if you took a vinyl record but coated it so it could also hold, magnetic, not magnetic, but I don't remember the exact technology, but anyway, it's vinyl records, but they stores video somehow through clever engineering. And they came in these giant caddies that you would like stick up to the player, and the player would suck the disc out. And so you'd be left with the empty caddy, which is, just kind of like a giant floppy disk shell. And you could accidentally, if you had another empty caddy, you could put the movie in the wrong caddy because, there was no like check to make sure it put it back in the right one.
I've seen those.
So yeah, it was a wild technology. It was a competitor to Laserdisc, kind of in the same way that there was Betamax and VHS. And of course, Laserdisc kind of won out, but they all lost to VHS.
Yeah. I actually knew a guy back in like junior high that had one of these, and the only disc he had was Peter Pan.
Yeah, I think when it first launched, like if you look at the launch version of Laserdisc to the launch version of CED was technically superior, but it was more prone to like dirt and dust because obviously, if you had to stick it in this caddy, obviously they were trying to keep the discs clean. But just like a record, if it got dust on the vinyl, it would skip and do all kinds of, funky stuff. So it had a better technology than Laserdisc, but was more fragile than Laserdisc. And then, of course, because Laserdisc in it were not recordable, they all lost out to VHS.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. Shit. I'm boring.
You're not boring.
No, like you literally just told us about a really interesting bit of formatting media history.
No, I'm saying I'm boring because I didn't do anything else. I mean, yeah.
You're going to start writing a book, right? I mean, why not? Why not? Like Kevin started it. I can start writing again. I will carve out that time. Let's just all be bitchy at each other and get this shit done.
Yeah. What kind of book you going to write, Mike?
I mean, if I was going to write a book, I'd be writing on my sci-fi story.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah.
So, man, it's been... So, like Kevin had alluded to, I had kind of a epiphany about the book. Like, I'd never really had, like, other than, kind of neat sci-fi ship stuff, I'd not really had a main character... Not a story, but I didn't have a main character motivation. Like... I kind of knew where the story was going, but I didn't really have I guess I didn't have an arc for him. Like, there was kind of an arc, but it wasn't fulfilling a desire of the main character.
Yeah, there are pieces missing.
Yeah, like, I didn't realize I needed that until I saw the Sanderson lectures. And I was like, oh yeah, I think the main character needs kind of a, something more than he wants a job. Really, that is what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Because so the title I have for the book is Help Wanted. It's basically the main character is between jobs on a space station, and he doesn't have the money to get home, so he wants to find a job on a ship because, well, why wouldn't you? Why would you just want to stay running forklifts on a space station when you could, be out there on a ship?
He's forklift certified, man.
Yes,
I am already
space forklift certified.
I'm there, man.
So,
I want him.
And, it's kind of, he gets a break. Trying to think of a way to say this without giving too much away if I do actually write it. But obviously he's gonna have to work for it. Like it's not,
Yeah.
The trials and tribulations come with him, but the motivation I realize is like, so we meet him and he's already, I'm probably going to write a prologue, after, watching Sanderson. I need to write a prologue that shows this, but, he was on a ship. He was a crew member on a ship, and he's the only survivor. Like, through the incompetence of his captain and the captain of the ship and the engineer, the ship blew up and he was the only survivor because he knew what was coming and got the fuck out of there.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's stranded on this space station, has no money really. And, so he's like, after this, he's like, I just want to go home. Fuck space. I'm tired of space. Everybody just wants to screw me over and use me. I'm just going to go home.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's going to kind of be like a journey home, but maybe the home he finds isn't the one he thought he was going to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to throw two things at you I think you should watch to kind of like maybe help get you in the mind space of like the scenario. Like obviously you know what you want to do with it to a degree, but like when I write, I try to immerse myself in media that is adjacent. So I'm going to recommend you watch Mickey 17.
That was kind of already on the list. I've
and then,
seen stuff and it looked interesting.
A show I mentioned in the early days of the Distraction Hole, I believe, which is Fired on Mars, about the guy who works on a company on Mars and he loses his job.
I think I watched the first episode or two of that.
Yeah, I think, and again, like I don't necessarily know what tone you're aiming for, but just some of like,
yeah, it's a good question.
Yeah, those elements I think can help you out a little bit.
Like tone, trying to think, what would I call it? I want it to be serious-ish. Like I kind of want it to go feel, I mean, we've all worked blue-collar jobs, right?
Yeah.
David, you've worked blue-collar jobs. That's kind of like the idea I'm going from. I'm pulling from a lot from my blue-collar experiences, and that, he's doing work. He's, he's basically a space mechanic, right?
Yeah.
So he's going to be, working on stuff. There's going to be, situational humor, but not like, comedy. It's not going to be,
right.
full of gags and stuff.
To kind of help you with that, like look at, not necessarily comic elements, but just kind of like the blue collar and space thing. Watch a lot of the Alien movies that deal specifically with like Weyland-Yutani, and it's from the perspective of the blue collar folks, right? So the first film, any of the colonists, and just again to kind of get that idea of like when you're putting yourself into a space station or whatever, you are kind of at the mercy of the company that runs the place, right?
So yeah, that's kind of what he wants to escape.
Yeah, but like
because I mean, look, you're kind of like preaching to the choir right now. Like this is already the sci-fi I consume.
Oh no, there we go. So I
don't want it to be.
I'm seeing where you're going with this. Basically.
Yeah. So here's a funny thing is like I've had this idea for a decade or more. Like when I watched The Expanse, I wasn't like thinking, damn it, but I was like going, this is very close to what I wanted to do.
Beltalanda.
I didn't have the idea of, I had some idea of, kind of like space nationalities like that.
Uterspachi.
But, what's that?
I said Uterspachi, where all that happens.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I'm making a very bad joke.
You are, because I thought you were talking about something real.
No.
I thought that was a term for something I was just talking about.
Nope.
Yeah, outer space.
Just me being dumb.
Yeah, outer space.
But
Uterspachi.
But yeah, like I had the idea, like I was in Finian's one night, like this, Kevin, to tell you how long ago this was, and you know, with all, no, was it Finian's or was it the Celtic Fest?
I don't know.
It reminded me, I was reminded a lot of the Wheel of Time, like dancing, where, you know, Rand ends up dancing with Moraine.
Right.
And I was thinking, I kind of want to put something like that in there, like have a, you know, they're in a colony that,
Dancing
you know,
with the manager kind of thing.
they're at like a tavern at a colony, which, you know, it's all going to be very, like, all the places they go, because the ship he's going to hire onto is like kind of a independent privateer / transporter. So he'll be going out to all the backwoods, very, very Firefly-esque in a way, like not like super Firefly-esque, but, you know, a little bit, little sprinkling there. Because I think at the time I'd just seen Firefly when I started writing this. Yeah, because I was living in the apartment that I had no internet, but I did have DivX copies of Firefly, and I ended up watching Firefly for the first time. But it's, you know, instead of being limited to a, you know, solar system, it's going to be a very, you know, there's faster than light travel and, you know, all kinds of neat stuff. But they're going to do deliveries to these, you know, small, you know, small colonies on other planets and things like that. And one of the ideas I had was a like a Irishy Celtic colony that they were having, you know, they were in a tavern and, you know, some dance scene or something. I can't remember exactly now. I think I have notes on it.
Sure.
But yeah, so, you know, maybe in another 10 years I'll write that.
No, I think legitimately we start a discussion channel in the Discord where we post our updates to our stories. We got people who will read them, and we will all read each other's work, and, you know, just kind of, you know, hey, gentle nudge, like, you know, every time we do a distraction hole, all right, guys, writing check, where you at? I think that would be fun.
I do too.
I like it.
What do you think, Mike?
Sure.
Again, like, it's not like you owe us anything or anything like that. It's just more or less just us, like,
Except
you know,
rent.
encouraging each other.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll give
idea.
it some thought. We'll give it some thought.
Yeah.
At least me and David, for the time being, can.
Yeah, which reminds me, I got to read your next. I need to read your thing. I haven't had a chance yet, which is going to happen a lot.
Yeah, everybody's kind of busy, and also I now understand the whole idea of why authors are like, "Did you read it? Did you read it? Did you read it?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm trying not to do that.
Well, I was just looking at what I actually have written so far. I didn't realize it was 10,000 words.
Oh,
Holy crap.
That's a great start, dude.
Yeah.
Write your prologue, and then
But also, I think I want to change it because I was writing it in first person. I don't know if I like that.
Yeah.
I don't want to write it in
That's
third
tricky.
person.
Yeah, I mean, there's some decent first person stuff, but also there's some first person stories that are like, I don't know, this isn't working.
Well, and after we've been writing for a while, we can literally do a distraction hole where it's just talking about, like, writer stuff, right? Like, which mode of writing do you like? Third person limited, third person omniscient, that sort of thing. That'd be fun.
I've always been a fan of third person limited, which is kind of what the Wheel of Time is.
Yeah, that's my preferred.
Yeah, I mean, omniscient is just kind of a weird thing, I guess.
Hello,
It feels kind of,
I'm God.
it feels kind of like, yeah, you're person hopping or something, which you kind of are if you have multiple, you know, viewpoints. But
Yeah.
you know,
I did have an idea, and maybe this has been done, of doing a story where, like, someone becomes aware that there's something riding around behind their eyes, like they're suddenly somehow aware that the narrator's there.
There you go. I like it.
I
Yep.
might do that as a Lovecraftian horror thing.
I still
only
got to
got
do...
8.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Mike.
say I only got 800 words into the third person version.
Well, hey, that's that's like 200 words away from doing 1,000, right? So, I mean, you got to start.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I only wrote this, I don't know, is there a way I can tell? I don't know. It was years ago. It was quite quite a while ago.
A while?
A while. Yeah, I still gotta
Quite a while.
still gotta write my Lovecraftian mouse story.
Like Mouse, like the famous...
No, like, well, because I was watching, like, I got a wild hair up my butt the other day about watching, The Rescuers Down Under, and The Great Mouse Detective.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what if you put these mice in, like, a Lovecraftian horror situation?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah,
It's
and-
like Redguard, but a nightmare.
Yeah, so, like, the idea is it'd be like there's a cult where mice are disappearing, and you've got this mouse who's investigating it. And
Please
like,
name him Mortimer.
right? But but I know firmly like what the cult is doing, and I'm so excited to like get to that point because it's based on just like for a mouse this would be a Lovecraftian thing. For us, it's just kind of like a weird novelty, but for the mouse it would be like what? So it's one of those where, and I was thinking of like doing it like in a Little Golden Book style.
Oh, God, that would be great.
Yeah. So
I had an idea for a Lovecraftian story where a guy is like moves onto a boat because he gets thrown out of his house in a divorce, and like there's a dingy ass boat down toward the end of the dock that nobody ever that he thinks is unoccupied, and it turns out there's like a deep one living on it.
right, Jimmy Buffett goes to Innsmouth.
Yeah, something like that. Well, it was more, I don't know. At the
Yeah.
time, it was more like if you had like one of those like middle management suck-ups that did a little bit of cocaine and
Yeah.
like cheated on his wife, and
Yeah.
she took the kids in the house.
I mean, I've been rewatching like a long play of Eternal Darkness, that game, and it just makes me want to like revisit my Darklands game. Like I
Okay.
just set up some Twine chapters. I know the technology of recording people's choices in a Google spreadsheet and just doing the
Yeah.
episodic thing like I was, but like no, I can't take on another project right now. But
Yeah.
it's tempting.
Hey.
It's super fucking tempting.
Hey, Mike, in your story, you need to have like just a quick cameo of Trevor the robot.
I don't know. There
I
are
ain't
AI,
driving.
but I don't know if they're robots.
I ain't driving.
Not cowboy robots for sure.
Gotta liberate the people at the front. I'm sorry, I loved Trevor the robot.
Great
Anyway.
character. I need to get him back
Yep.
into the comic.
Yep. Well, thank you, Mike. That actually led to a lot of interesting discussion there.
You're welcome.
Question mark? So guys, it's time for a game.
Oh, goody! I do love games.
Oh, goodness. So, I got to thinking about this earlier. Gentlemen, what we're going to do is we're going to have a discussion battle.
Okay.
So, what we're going to do is each of us is choosing a champion who owns a vehicle, and we're going to have them in a demolition derby and see who the winner is, and then a fight outside of the vehicle. So, like, you choose a vehicle from like an 80s TV show or movie for the demolition derby, and you get the pilot of that vehicle. So, like, say you get the A-Team van, you get B.A. Baracus.
Yeah.
Or Knight Rider. You get the general idea. And then we argue our cases on who takes out who,
Okay.
vehicle-wise. And then we can move on to, like, hand-to-hand if so needed.
Okay, I got mine.
So, really? Okay. David, who's yours?
Captain Falcon and the Blue Falcon.
Oh!
Yep. So the Blue Falcon
Okay.
can go nearly 2,000 miles an hour. It does that little spin move. And Captain
Now,
Falcon
wait a minute.
can Falcon Punch.
Okay, I got screwed up in my head. I thought you meant Blue Falcon and Dino Mutt.
No, Captain Falcon and his vehicle, the Blue Falcon from F-Zero.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Yeah, that's what I
right.
thought too. Was was a Blue Falcon.
Nope.
Gary Owens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Dino Mutt.
Okay, so you're going with the F-Zero pilot.
Yes.
Okay.
And we know we can fight.
Yeah, that's true. God, I remember.
Falcon Punch.
Anyway, yeah, I'm not going to talk about what I just remembered.
Oh,
Anyway,
God.
I know. You said it's a demolition derby.
Yes.
Bo Duke and General Lee.
Oh.
They already did that shit. That's their bread and butter, baby.
Okay, that's fair. All right. See, I'm sitting here going, I need it to be a land vehicle,
Yeah.
which means there is
No Airwolf.
no. That's the problem. I wanted to do Airwolf, and I can't do Airwolf because that is completely unfair. We'll have to do another version of this with air vehicles sometime. But if I'm going to do one, I really thought you were going to go with Knight Rider, Mike.
Well, you mentioned as the example, and I was like, I don't want to go there. I want something different.
Okay.
Something no one's mentioned yet.
See, I figured you would go with one of the two I mentioned, and I would do whichever one you didn't take, but you didn't take either. So I am taking the A-Team van driven by B.A. Baracus. After being modified in a montage to be structurally strengthened and have, like, I don't know, some flamethrowers attached.
Well, I've got Luke Duke sitting shotgun with sticks of dynamite.
Okay. Wait, what about the bow and arrow with the dynamite?
Yeah, that too.
Okay, David?
Okay, so
Your pilot, yeah, is he just hand to hand?
Okay.
Has he got any weapons on the vehicle?
I'm going to show you a clip from the F-Zero anime that was going to end this discussion. I'm going to post it into Host Talk.
Okay.
And go ahead and play this.
Okay. Host talk. Just okay. The frozen screen of it is an explosion. So here we go.
I've had enough of you! Die! Falcon Punch! Captain Falcon!
What the fuck? Is he just floating in the sky?
Falcon Punch,
What the
baby.
fuck?
Falcon Punch.
Wait. Was that the Milky Way?
That's the punch that Gurren Lagann felt.
Okay.
What are you going to do?
First off, I'm gonna make sure you die in the vehicle.
Look, he just like destroyed himself, all the spectators, like everything within like,
Look.
20 solar systems is gone.
F-Zero is fucking
punch.
incredible, man. I love F-Zero.
What the fuck?
Yeah, your move.
Okay, look. Fuck you. They're still in the vehicles right now, so we're not even going there yet.
Okay, well, have you ever played F-Zero?
Yes?
Okay. Think about that spinning move where I could just like where Falcon could do that little spin in his ship and like send you flying into a wall.
Yeah, but okay. Mike,
Yeah.
you go up against him real quick.
Well, Luke Duke shoots a dynamite arrow and it causes you to fly off the track.
Yeah, see,
And you're dead because, that's the end of the race.
Because I think, here's the thing. You got that spin move, but it's the A-Team van. It has been reinforced. There are flamethrowers. All right,
Now,
Mike, I want you to factor that in because, okay, you got dynamite, but if I hit you with a flame at just the right angle, I'm setting the dynamite off in the car.
now
That's we just throw it out at you. we
where's
got fuses.
where's this happening? Because are there the charge pads from F-Zero in the arena?
No.
Well, how is that fair?
I think they would have to be.
Yeah.
There has to be?
Yeah, just because.
How else do I get boost power?
Captain Falcon's not like bringing his ship to a place that doesn't have boost pads.
All right, fine. They're boost pads, you weenie.
Do you want me to pick a different character?
No, it's fine. I'm just saying we've got dynamite and flame, and I still kind of feel like, Mike, you might get taken out by those flamethrowers.
Here's the fundamental problem with this conceit as we're playing it right now. You two have brought in like 1970s, 1980s like action show, kind of like normal people. Obviously a little heightened. I brought
Yeah.
in a fucking Super Sentai character in a
Are you
rocket
sure
ship.
it's not fantasy?
I mean, maybe. But no, like I brought in. It would be like me bringing in Kamen Rider.
Okay,
who also
do you
would have
want
been
to
a good
choose somebody
choice.
else?
Okay, I think I've
That's
got
a-
one.
Okay, who you got?
Oh, you're gonna hate me. Batman and the Batmobile.
Oh shit! Now, which Batman and which Batmobile?
Well, yeah, because it'd be yeah.
Are we talking Michael Keaton? Are we talking
Does it have to be
Adam
live
West?
action? Does it have to be live action?
Well, considering I was going to let you do Blue Falcon, Mike,
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think it
no,
has to be.
it can be animated.
So I'm gonna say the 1992 Kevin Conroy Batman and his Batmobile.
Oh, that long ass bitch.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotcha. All right, that's got some neat gadgets, but also it's a long ass bitch.
But also it's Batman.
Yes. Okay. I will admit that Batman with prep time is the same as Mr. T with a modification montage. So,
But Bo and Luke are like, drunk off moonshine, running circles around your
Now,
ass.
now is Boss Hog also there?
he's
No.
watching and
watching, yeah.
yelling.
Get them Duke boys. Get them old Duke boys. Yeah, because Boss Hogg and Bruce Wayne are obviously in cahoots because they're the bourgeoisie.
And he keeps looking over going, Anus! Anyway. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly feel like the first person I got to try to take out is, like, the Duke boys, because they had dynamite. That's some dangerous
That
shit.
their car is racist.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
yeah,
true.
a little bit.
That's
I
true.
I can't deny
It,
that.
Just
it
on
is
principle.
Mr. T.
Yeah, it's just yeah. There you go. Mr. T takes it personally. Batman is just like,
Yes.
no, this shouldn't be out there. It's a hate crime.
Yeah, B.A. Baracus is behind the wheel going, this is the first fools I don't pity.
Look, I understand the problems and the problematicness of the General Lee, but if I was rich, I can't say I wouldn't own a General Lee.
I also feel like you chose it specifically to, like, aggravate B.A. Baracus.
Bo and Luke aren't haters.
No,
they
they're
aren't.
not.
They're not.
They just have the deluded fallacy that, it's just a Southern thing.
They live in Hazard County. They're not, like,
Yeah.
There's a lot of things they're not stupid. They're just uneducated.
If them Duke boys went to college for a semester.
If you told them about, the current situation with that flag, I'm sure they'd take
If
it
you
off
showed
the car.
Bo and Luke January 6th,
Well, that's just damn un-American right there.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what they do. I think the Duke boys would be shockingly woke. I'm just gonna say it.
absolutely. Absolutely.
But I will admit the Duke boys are probably the first to be taken out because, they do have an unresponsible amount of
Okay.
moonshine and dynamite in their car.
Yes. Now, okay, I will agree that yes, the General Lee gets taken out first because it is in fact a racing a racing car full of explosives.
Well, if you gave B.A. Baracus a time to like put together his vehicle, wouldn't you give the Duke boys the same amount of time?
They're
to-
not known for modifying their vehicle, though.
You don't
the
know them. You don't
modifications
know them.
is the,
They might.
the
spend-
modification is the dynamite.
They'd spend their time washing it shirtless.
The best they do is hope there's a ramp, which I'm gonna say there's a ramp.
Yeah, if
Of
we've
course
got the
there's a
boost pads, right? Oh no, wait, Captain Falcon's out of this now.
Yep. No, you don't need them. You're Batman. I am gonna say that the Duke boys probably get taken out first, but how much collateral damage does the explosion of like 20 tons of, like 2 tons of dynamite and moonshine?
And I will say, B.A. Baracus is distracted for a little bit by Daisy Duke on the sidelines washing her Jeep.
Yep. All right. Yep. No, that's fair. So, how much damage do you think, David, you and me are gonna take?
It's like a crate of dynamite and say 5 gallons of moonshine.
Which,
Yeah, that car's going up.
which that's like a Gotham Monday afternoon.
Yeah, okay, actually, you know what? I will grant that the Batmobile has flame retardant.
Well, also that
It's not
thing's
gonna catch-
fucking like
It's
armored.
armored.
Yeah.
And while I feel like the A-Team van is going to be able to drive through that fire, I feel like the concussive force might cause some damage to the vehicle.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But that's when the Bat Cycle comes out.
Look, it's gonna
Oh, I'm talking about the A-Team
Kevin.
van.
Oh yeah.
Kevin, the Force is gonna send the A-Team van flying, and you know B.A. Baracus and flying
Oh, shit. And they didn't have time to put anything in his milk.
Correct.
Shit. Okay, so he's freaking out. He is having a full-on B.A. Baracus panic attack due to being airborne. Shit. I hate to say it. I feel like the Batmobile kind of wins by default.
Okay,
But
let me
I
bring-
also feel like he does like an e-brake turn that like slams into vehicles
Yeah. Well,
with that long-ass bitch.
well, let me substitute for another character.
No.
okay.
We're sticking with Batman.
Okay.
No,
That's
we're
fine.
good. You don't get to change. We're way into this battle now. But once out of the vehicle, which we're gonna say Bo and Luke slid out the windows
Yeah, they
before
look,
it went off.
They don't wear seatbelts and they don't have windows. So when it exploded, they just got thrown clear in the perfect 80s, way.
And you know they were going yeehaw
Yeah.
as they flew through the air.
Not
And it's mud. They landed soft.
Oh, yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, they
Zimming the
landed in a
flannel.
pond.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tire swing next to the tree. Yeah.
Yeah, BA, once the van lands and does some rolls, he gets out. He's fine. It's BA Baracus. You remember that one episode, like toward the end of the run, when everybody was like, "This is bullshit," where they had him like as strong as the Hulk?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they just decided he was a superhero.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah,
well,
it's
that was
like
just
when the
accurate to
premise
Mr.
runs out.
T.
All right, we're taking the inhibitors off of Mr. T now. We're just going to show the world what he actually is. So, the fiction is gone. So, the other vehicle's gone. Batman obviously jumps out of the vehicle.
Well, yeah, he's not about to fight a couple people on foot
No.
in his car.
He's not unfair.
Yeah.
He's just prepared.
I just feel like I broke the game twice.
Well,
No, you didn't. The Batman thing's fine.
Captain
What
Falcon's a little
broke-
much.
Yeah, no, what broke the game was the moonshine and dynamite. That's what broke the game. Now, in the fist fight,
yes.
this is a very difficult situation now. We got Bo and Luke. Mm-hmm. Maybe
Which
they-
I think the two Bo and Luke is a fairly equal,
to Mr. T.
to Mr. T or to Batman.
How many
These two-
Mr. T's are in a Batman? What's
That's
the ratio
problem. Are we going with Mr. T? Like, okay, are we going with B.A. Baracus early A-Team, or are we going with B.A. Baracus, I am the Hulk?
there? Well, let's
Not
go. Let's
the
go.
Hulk.
Oh, well, okay. I was going to say let's go Hulk,
Okay.
I
but
was gonna say I think that's not very.
He was
canon.
still strong in the
Strong.
first season,
Yeah.
so let's go with that.
He's a slightly unnaturally strong individual.
okay.
And I'm gonna say, I know Batman's got his armored bat suit. Technically, Mr. T is wearing a form of chainmail.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
fair.
Or he can do the Goku thing and take it off.
Oh, he pulls off the stuff, and Chala Head Chala starts playing, and he's
And
like stronger.
He drops the chains, and they make like a 10-foot cylindrical, 10-foot diameter crater in
Yeah.
the ground.
Yeah, that. Okay, I'm going with that because that's badass. Bo and Luke, meanwhile, kind of have shields with those belt buckles.
Yeah, they can twist their thing so the light shines in their eyes.
Well, they probably
But
still got
also,
the
like-
moonshine and dynamite too. They
Well,
probably
no,
they all
that blew
exploded.
up.
Oh no,
Yeah.
they
They might
inexplicably have it.
But they're really good barroom brawlers.
Yeah, seriously. I've seen them. What do you think happened to Coy and Vance?
Yeah. they came back and kicked their asses because
Uh-huh.
they're such little.
Give me my
Twerps.
paycheck back, boy. So, the fight.
The big question is, did Batman somehow keep his utility belt?
Well, I mean,
Like,
he
is it a-
dresses as Batman completely when he drives the Batmobile.
Yeah. I'm saying he's got the utility belt.
Then I think we know who wins.
And he's also got the
Okay.
training of every single martial
yes.
art.
I was going to say, without the utility belt, it's a fairer fight. But with the utility belt, yeah, I mean,
Is
it's
it
kind
is
of
it though? Even without the utility belt,
It's a. No, I said it's a fairer fight
okay.
without the utility
Yeah,
belt. But I'm not
and
saying
here's-
it's.
Yeah, now it wasn't broken until they got out of the cars.
The only hope would be Bo and Luke team up with Mr. T to take on Batman.
Mr. T ain't
as a
gonna do that
3-on-1.
because Mr. T's not doing that because he saw the roof of the car.
I know.
well, then
That's
you
what
got
I'm
an
saying.
episode of Scooby Doo movies where you got
Yeah.
like Mr. T,
Now-
Batman, and Bo and Duke.
And Bo and Luke are like profusely trying to say they're not racist, but they're still getting the crap beat out of them.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I will say there's one thing Batman can't do if Mr. T kept the chains on, which is a sleeper hold, because he couldn't get to his neck. But B.A. Baracus took the chains off to pull a Goku, so the neck's open if you can get to it. Mm-hmm. And I do feel like, once again, Bo and Luke, even with two of them, I feel like Mr. T could, like, I keep saying Mr. T. It's not the actor.
Yeah.
It's B.A. Baracus.
Right.
I feel like B.A. Baracus could walk up and do that slam two coconuts together trick with their heads.
So what we're doing is we're fighting for second place.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you how good do you think Bo and Luke could do against B.A. Baracus?
So I think BA. I mean, he can brawl a little bit, but I think he mostly just has his strength.
Yeah, but he also
He's-
he's also got the combined weight of the expectations of all those kid gymnasts watching, and the dog with the mohawk and the little white kid that's dressed like him.
But Bo and Luke, they're scrappy, they're wiry. They can stay out of his
Scrappy's
reach.
not in this. Scooby Doo is not here.
They could stay out of his reach.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you that. They're probably faster.
I think it's basically they're just going to be stalemated until Batman just comes and kicks their asses.
Yeah, he's just gonna throw a smoke bomb or something, and then like when the smoke clears, they're both
Do that.
they're all unconscious and tied up, and it's
Yeah.
like that was 3 seconds, Batman.
He wouldn't even waste a
hanging
smoke
from-
bomb. He would like throw one batarang and it hit like all three
Yeah.
of them.
Oh yeah, like the opening to the animated series,
They're-
and this is the Kevin Conroy Batman.
They're
so-
hanging from a lamppost that wasn't there 5 seconds ago.
Yeah.
They're all like tied up with the
Yeah.
the zip line.
Yeah, there was no light pole there, and then there was a light pole there. And here's the thing: if it had been any other Batman, we might could have taken him.
Yeah.
But it's Conroy.
Yeah, because the Michael Keaton Batman couldn't like see, so he could like get in his
Oh
blind
yeah,
spots.
we could have like dodged around behind him and taken him out, but
I
like
could have done Adam West Batman, but then I would have anti BA Baracus bat spray.
yeah.
and-
See, that's like basically you've got God.
and but you'd get distracted doing the Batusi.
Yeah,
That's also we would get distracted doing the Batutsi
Oh, sure.
because it's like a mimetic disease.
but it'd be such a fun little battle. Biff,
Wouldn't
pow.
it? Yeah, oh man, that would have been great. But no, I think we can agree Batman wins because B.A. Baracus and the Duke boys are squaring off against each other, and Batman takes advantage.
And the only reason, the only person that probably could have beaten them all and won was one I didn't choose because he doesn't have a vehicle, and that's Mr. Rogers.
Oh, are you seriously gonna do the ultimate showdown with this shit? It does
That's what
feel
sounds
like it.
Yeah.
It does feel like we just did the ultimate showdown.
Ooh, I should have chose Optimus Prime. Damn it.
He's his own
Vehicle.
driver.
Yes. I
Like-
should have chose Optimus Prime.
Damn it! Okay, next time.
The other
Next
the other
time.
one I was thinking about was the Mystery Machine. with Fred driving it.
Oh,
Because he would have, if he had prep time, he would have put a bunch of traps in the back of the mystery machine.
that's there'd be traps all over the arena.
Yeah.
And also, I'm gonna say, if I had chosen Optimus Prime,
Yeah.
I would have gone. I hate to say it, I would have gone with like the ultimate in joke of he would have been driven by a cannibalistic Rob Zombie. So old Coda's World joke.
I think Optimus Prime would have won the Demolition Derby, but he would refuse to like fight, just humans.
Oh,
Not getting an ass beating is the right of all sentient beings.
could have done Herman Munster and the Dragula.
Ooh, damn.
We're just making wacky races now.
For pretty much,
Dude,
yes.
could you imagine like a
Like Cannonball Run
yeah.
Oh
they're
my
all-
god, man.
of all these characters? Yes, that would be badass. Wait a minute, they did that on Robot Chicken.
Oh wow.
God
You're right.
damn it.
Damn it.
I'll do it again.
Damn you, Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah. No, it
Not
wasn't
Seth
Seth
MacFarlane,
Seth
Seth
Green,
Green.
the other Seth.
The other Seth.
The other Seth from Family Guy. Wow, this has been interesting, and it's kind of time to end this.
Yeah.
So, guys, have we got any plugs?
I happen to have a plug actually. Let me pull up my notes real quick. Okay, got
All
it.
right, Riff.
Okay, so Kevin, you may have recalled I joined the Cartoonist Co-op.
Yes?
Yes.
A while back?
Yeah, a while back. Well, they've got something going on in May, throughout the month of May, called the Nib and Ink Festival. And,
Oh, cool.
I'm just going to go ahead and read this little blurb. The Nib and Ink Festival, or NIF, is a brand new online-only comics festival taking place from May 1st through the 31st of 2025. NIF will have a custom store for exhibitors to sell digital comics, printed home zines, free curated webcomic samplers, streamed panels every weekend throughout the month, and more. Our goal is to create a unique space highlighting independent comics from all areas of our worldwide industry where creators and fans alike can find new comics to read, learn about the medium that they love, and connect with like-minded individuals. They have a email newsletter you can subscribe to for more information. I think they're also taking, like, I'm going to call them booths, like slots.
Because it's a online month-long con.
Yeah, and if you're interested,
Neat.
it's nif.cartoonist.coop. And I should have some more information. I think they wanted actually to see if they could, plug, be on the podcast, at least a few of the people, so.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Well, we can definitely see about doing that.
But yeah, the Nib and Ink Festival, which is nif.cartoonist.coop.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. Mike, have you got anything you want to plug?
Do I have any plugs? USB Type A.
Hair.
I wish y'all could see me
Max.
just rub my hand down my face
Butt.
in frustration.
Molex.
Drain.
All right, we're done. We're done. So it is now time for you to climb out of the distraction hole, and we like to try to end the show on a positive note, typically. And I'm going to quote the Stormlight Archive, because it is in fact a self-help book disguised as a fantasy series. And I'm going to quote it, and you can adapt this to your chosen pronouns. I will take responsibility for what I have done. If I must fall, I will rise each time a better man. So there you go.
I like it.
That's our positive affirmation. It's a quote from, I think that's Dalinar Kholin, correct, Mike?
Yes.
Yes. So, thank you for listening. We'll be back next week with Supernatural Selection, and we're going to play a game of Breaking Mike.
Ooh.
So, should be fun. We'll see you then. We'll be back soonish with another one of these here things. Distraction Hole, that's what it's called. So, good night, everybody.
I'm Batman.
I'm Batman. I'm being pitied because I'm a fool.